Good evening, kind artists. Welcome. Happy new moon. Full moon. Not new moon. Full moon. The creatures have been very active today, over the last day. How are you doing? I'm a few minutes late. Hello. How are you doing? Hi, River Bluff. Good evening. It's been a very busy week. Very, very busy. I also received a letter today from the governor about my complaints against the veterinarian. So, it's been, let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August. It's been about 4 months since my complaint. So it's better late than never. So they're investigating it. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. Yeah. they're not governing anything. They can't even govern themselves. That's what I was thinking also, con artists, because it's really weird. It's like they just developed, and I took 2 Epsom salt baths, like 2 separate days, like in a row, with baking soda and borax, and they were coming out of my body. They're always doing something to me here. There's like, I saw them like stalking back and forth today, and then leaving the hornet's nest and witchcraft. They're like revving it up. They're getting their rocks off, harassing me. I think it's also parasites. Yeah, I do. Yes, it is an understatement. It kind of reminds me of junior high school. Junior high school was a time, at least by me here when I was living in the Bronx, where some kids would get vehicles, they'd get cars, and they'd be so excited about it, and they'd start revving up the engines. And then, of course, my daughter's generation, they all had cars by 16 years old, except my daughter. She had to save for her car. White trash. Yes. There, for anybody that's listening and can't read the chat, Riverblood says they're having white trash karaoke tonight down his road. About to head up to Smoky Mountains for a couple of months. Good evening, Joe. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Connor says, and I'm eating, by the way. I'm eating at the same. Hi, Eden's Living TV. Susan, welcome, welcome. Connor says, in a sense, you become a martyr and your property has become a local church. Hi, Nick, welcome. Yeah, that's like the loud vehicle seems to be a part of everybody's script. Susan, I just want to say that after watching your testimony, I had no idea what you went through. I mean, literally, I mean, you are a pillar of strength. I mean, now I understand like what you've been through in your life. Like, is it's just unfathomable, and you've come out of every one of those horrific incidences. Oh, what they do to me, it's unbelievable what they do to me here. I was in the cats building, before coming into the house, and I was in there at least 20 minutes, cleaning up and whatever. A car revs up on the county road and is parked there. Hi, Forethought. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you guys come in, too. So the car is like all revved up on the county road the entire time I'm in the cats building. And I know what they're doing is they're signaling to the creep that's on my property. And lo and behold, somebody was in and out of my house. And maybe they're still in here. I already announced to them that if somebody is in here, they're going to be deleted tonight. So in and out of my house. And they destroyed my new organic nectarines. I just posted that video as a short. You were born in the Cabbage Patch. That's cute. I hope these raccoons outside are not going to bug me this evening. Oh, they did. They can do that automatically. Eden's Living. She says they put fungus on her squash. And that's exactly what they do. They do it instantly. Those organic nectarines that I got them yesterday. Late yesterday morning. Hi, Water Otter, welcome. And they're hard as a rock. They were not edible. So I removed them from the plastic bag. I stuck them in a outside of the refrigerator on the floor where it's cool on a plastic container. And they came in here tonight and molded those, 3 of them. I mean, I didn't look at the other 2. That's why I'm a little bit late, because I was going to eat one, and then I see what they did. And rather than throw them out, I just cut them up, and cut off the bad portions and threw them outside for for the raccoons. Okay, let's see what you're saying. I just wanted to mention you cannot do anything if you're being gangstalked because everybody is fake, pointless. Okay, this is what we're gonna do for you. Okay, so forethought, because you think that everybody is fake, I'm fake and whatever, you're in timeout for at least a half an hour. If you come back in a half an hour and start that nonsense, you'll be blocked forever. Okay, so you're certainly entitled to your opinion, but this is a safe place for people to have conversations, and we don't need a provocateur in the chat. And that's exactly what you're doing. And we're only 20 minutes in, but I have no tolerance for that shit. And even though it's a full moon and people are going to be a little active, oh, the creepy man, the creepy voice is back. You wonder if you're fake, Nick. I don't know. Maybe we're all fake, right? We're all living in a simulation. No, basically, we're the real people, and everybody around us are losers. They're the fake ones. Yeah, that creepy voice is just part of, unfortunately, my harassment, because it's not only in the live chat. When David interviews me, that creepy voice goes on his channel too when he's interviewing me, and sometimes the creepy voice is on my cameras. Last week, the creepy voice actually said my name. It was the weird thing. He goes, Lorraine. It sounded like just a creepy Lorraine. Yes, you're right. We carry the divine flame, and others are demon-possessed clones. So I'm just reading some of your comments. Okay, so when you boiled your potatoes, something looked like coffee grinds that were put in your bin. It steamed as, oh, you know what that is? If it's steamed, that's mushrooms. They stuck some weird mushrooms in there. Well, it's the full moon, so yeah, they're doing ritual spells. And on 8/8, it was like some special witchcraft demonic holiday. Yes, they'll do a black mold, green mold. It doesn't matter what it is. And it's very difficult to treat because the usual, I guess, fungicide or whatever it is that you'd buy in the store doesn't always work. I hear what you're saying, Water Otter, that you can't be your authentic self around people anymore. I hear you. What are phone farms? Phone farms. There are many fake profiles online, many different platforms. Look up phone farm and you'll see what I mean. I've never heard that before. Hi, Krista. Yes, the full moon is this is a heavy full moon because it's the day after a special witch holiday, 8/8. Somebody told me exactly what it meant, but that's why they installed a hornet's nest on my garage. I'm having a serious problem right now with bots attacking the 2 Andrew Boswell videos. I literally have dozens of comments. 8/8, that's it. Oh, is that right? Oh, Krista, that's amazing. I didn't realize that. What video is that, Joe? Because if I click on it to try to watch it now, I'll end up disconnecting everybody. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, everybody. It says that there are 25 people watching and only 7 thumbs up. Oh, you're kidding, Susan. 8-8 is also high Hitler, and 8-8 is time travel. Thank you, Water Otter. Hulk Hogan, 88. Oh, yes, and he recently passed away. That's it. It's the Lionsgate portal to Sirius. The star Sirius. That's what it is. The Lionsgate portal. And that's why they're performing Witchcraft all over my property. Yes, there's a YouTube creator, and I don't remember his name. Michael Miller recommended him, and I subscribed, and he is like this king of gematria. Yeah, I call it bitchcraft because basically it's mostly the bitchy women. You know, the bun babes, the Eastern Star witches. They think they're special or something. Meanwhile, these losers, they creep out in the middle of the night, early mornings, and they're the ones like that are spreading branches and hexes and curses and stuff. I mean, is that insane? 4 o'clock in the morning? I did not know a lot about Ozzy Osbourne, but I liked Sharon. I mean, I've seen her interviewed, and in later years, he seemed to have mellowed, and I kind of liked him as a person in later years. But I absolutely remember when he did the bat, uh, that bat. I won't say it. What he did, because my brother was into Black Sabbath, and I could not stand listening to that music back then. It just wasn't my thing. Oh, that's so interesting, Krista. They wear buns and ponytails because they're afraid of people taking their hair for spells because that's what they do to others. Oh, I know they do. They absolutely do. They come in and steal hair from your hairbrush. I want to welcome. Let's remember everybody to hit the thumbs up. Yes, they do. They do take personal belongings and they use it for witchcraft. And there was this woman, and I still think that she may be involved in maybe placing me in this program or doing this witchcraft and stuff. Her name was Dawn, and she would do witchcraft, and she would steal things from me and never give them back. Witches wear buns. That's so interesting because I call these loser women that drive back and forth. You know, the agents, not, you know, like the fusion center operatives or the FBI or CIA, whomever they work for, private contractors. I call them bun babes. Oh, is that right? Oh, wow! I didn't know that. That Ozzy became saved before he died. He seemed like a different person. Like I liked him in later years. Like I did not like him when he was with Black Sabbath. I don't like that music. I don't like that like grungy rock. I was never into it. And because my brother listened to it too, it just like really annoyed me. It was just loud and yucky. Even my mother didn't like it. Yeah, but he seemed like he's so mellowed, and I've been seeing these like shorts and videos online about how his fans adored him, and they have these memorials set up for him with flowers. Oh, so Unaverage Joe says it's said to never mention a witch by name in conversation because they can hear you talking about them in the etheric realm. So it said. Oh, that's interesting. Well, if she's the one that is performing bitchcraft on me, then she should be called out. But she's not the one here in Kentucky. There's somebody else here in Kentucky. There are a couple of them. Oh, is that it? I had wondered if he had that, if Ozzy had that thing. Because I did hear I don't know who interviewed him or who he was talking to, but he said that he wished he had never listened to one doctor. He would not have had the back surgery that he had. You're absolutely right, River Bluff, and that's why I mention it. I've been mentioning it since I came into the targeting community back in 2017 because I recognized the witchcraft that was being done on my property in New Jersey. And there were very few people talking about it. They didn't want to talk about it. But Dr. Eric Karlstrom was the one person who talks about the occult, has been speaking about the occult involved in our stalking really for years. He was the first person that I recognized as having made that association. Drones that cast spells, is that possible? Interesting. Well, I think with regard to the casting of spells, I know it's real and it does work, but I think that when people are unaware of it, it has more harm because when you're aware of it and you speak about it, and like it's like I tell them, I'm picking up their shit, burning it, getting rid of it, breaking it in half. You're like, ha ha ha. Like I know what you're doing. It's worse when you don't know what they're doing and you can't um, combat it in some way. It's sort of like know your enemy. And as far as I'm concerned, witches are a huge part of who's warring against me here. Oh, that's so interesting. Celeste is so smart. Celeste Solemn said the Valkyrie aircraft has something called Spellbook and Geomancer loaded on it. Well, the fact that it's called the Valkyrie, well, that's interesting too. Valkyrie aircraft? Who chose that name? Hi, River Bluff. I have to admit that I've done so also. And it worked. What do you do against the witchcraft part of targeting? Well, first you have to be aware of it. And, it's sort of like you say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No witchcraft against me shall prosper. You burn sage, spread salt around. The witches hate salt. You know, it's sort of like, I'm melting, I'm melting. You know, get a lot of salt. A lot of salt. Like, I've used so much salt, it's ridiculous. And you just have to find it and disrupt it. Yes, I heard fasting is a big one. I have not done any fasting since I'm living here. I did in New Jersey. I'm so active here, and I mean, the longest I've fasted is probably overnight until the next afternoon. You know, not a long time. Like in New Jersey, I've actually fasted for like days. I think I fasted for up to 9 days once. I didn't even want food. It's like after you get past like the first 2 days, 3 days, you have no interest in food anymore. The thing about the witchcraft is knowing that it exists, acknowledging that it exists. See if you can find it. Find it in your house or around your house or property. Like if you own a house, they will place witchcraft in the 4 corners of your property in the center. And in certain areas that they want to destroy. Like I live around water, so these are water witches. They're performing witchcraft to cause flooding. Hi, Troll God. I don't think it's a good idea for me. I can tell when I can fast. I have not fasted. Hi, Amy. Welcome, welcome. Yes, oddities around the doors, your property, an unusual amount of insects inside your house, dust, like after you've cleaned, and then you'll find dust on ledges, like heavy dust. Like they do this in my chicken coops. Your short-term fasting. Yes, they especially like to go around doors and entrances. But here, they're going around the entire property. A subscriber. You have the dust issue too. Oh, you've been trying to sell for 6 years? Oh my goodness. Well, not only do they perform the witchcraft to prevent it from selling, but they start destroying the property. Like my land and the property doesn't look the same as it did last year or the year before or the year before. Even though I've spent so much money cleaning it up and caring for it, it looks worse every day. And it's deliberate. And the chicken coops, like I clean the chicken coops every day. I go in there in the morning, like after the chickens leave and I'm cleaning up, and there's literally this thick dust all over everything. And they go into the coops. They have hi, True Peace and Security, welcome. They have accidentally or deliberately left the doors to the chicken coop unlocked. They walk around with vials of insects. Oh, ChatGPT says containment. The perimeter is sealed so that misfortune or bad luck stays within the property, affecting the target but preventing escape from the curse. Interesting. Oh, very interesting. Exclusion. Magic might be placed around the boundary to keep a person isolated from help, opportunities, or positive influences. Very, very interesting. You hear that, Amy? That would be for you as well. Folk examples: burying cursed objects in the yard corners, not magic, hung on fences, tie the property to fortune, spell jars hidden along the border to radiate harmful energy. Well, fortunately, I do clean up my property a lot, like several times a week. Hi, Elsie, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Oh, there you go. Thank you, thank you. Oh, yes, yes. You block your door jamb with a towel. The spiders were getting into the entryway, and little bugs they captured were there. That's exactly what they do. They will dump little tiny spiders in your house, and then these little tiny spiders, of course, they're weaving webs, and then they attract all the little bugs and stuff that they dump in your house. So you've got little nestings of bugs because of them. The difference here is that in New Jersey, I had a small property. It was like just a half of an acre. So it was very easy to locate any kind of witchcraft on that property, and I did. I would find all kinds of stuff. Yes, you could use essential oils, sage, frankincense, salt. You can, and if you're into holy water, you can use holy water. And oh, what is it called? It's called. Well, let me go get it. Dragon's blood. It's called dragon's blood. So I have a dragon's blood incense that I'll light at the door. It smells pretty nice. But the dragon's blood is supposed to combat these demonic creatures. You started spraying vinegar, water, and essential oils. That's a good idea. Well, another thing that you could spray actually is hydrogen peroxide. They, kind of use a plausible deniability this time of the year. There are so many insects that they use. Tiny little spiders, ants. Let's see, they can't attack your dog if you know what you're using the dog for. I'm not sure what that means. Yes, that's it. Well, Conrad says, when I worked out of town, the property was loaded with triangular glass and rusted nails. Didn't worry me, actually made me laugh. Well, I'm glad you laugh at. I don't know. I don't find it funny. I find it really annoying, actually, because I know that every time I see a triangle piece of glass, whatever, I know that they're performing their rituals and that they've been on my property, and it just pisses me off. I don't think anything about their objects. I don't really care. That's very good, Joe. he burns frankincense resins to help sterilize the air, and it changes the mood in the environment immediately. Oh, well, absolutely. A Chihuahua is definitely different than a German Shepherd and a Pit Bull. But let me tell you, my grandma had a Chihuahua. Her Chihuahua was named Buffy, and you could not go near my grandma when that dog was sitting on her lap. That little Buffy dog, like nobody could get near grandma when Buffy was around. They're very yappy and like they think they're bigger than they are. And as I'm talking now, the trolls are driving by. Who had a bodyguard? Yeah, 1984. Well, the full moon is very bright outside now. There's a lot of activity. A little yappy dappy. Yeah. Yeah, some of the essential oils I'll use in the bathtub with the Epsom salt, baking soda, and borax. Like I'll use like a half a cup to a cup of borax, a cup of baking soda, and then sometimes I'll use like 3 pounds of Epsom salt. Like I'll use like a lot of Epsom salt, and then I'll like scrub my body with a cloth. Hi, Ace of Cups. Welcome, welcome. We've been talking about witchcraft. Well, I think the local, yes, both witch, I call it bitchcraft because that's what they are. Anybody that performs like this nasty stuff against somebody, for profit or whatever, they're bitches. These are nasty, angry women. They're bitches. And I made sure, when I'm in the mood, like I'll go outside and just pick up whatever I can, like I did this evening. I picked up like a whole cart of their witchcraft. Oh, well, that's a good idea. Elsie said that she sprayed her bedding with alcohol to help disinfect a few minutes before bedtime. That's a good idea. I would imagine the alcohol is opposed to the peroxide. I think peroxide, the hydrogen peroxide, might stain it or bleach it a little bit, but the alcohol probably wouldn't. Yeah, I usually take photos of the witchcraft. And I didn't post the video yet, but I have a little bit of a longer video. I don't know, it's a couple of minutes of the hornet's nest that suddenly appeared on the garage. Oh, well, that's a good idea. You asked your tarot cards if some people that have come into your life recently are Satanists. You got 2 cards, the Ace of Swords and the Sun. Oh. The one thing about the tarot, like I've never appreciated the swords. I mean, I realize the swords are necessary, like to cut things out of your life. Hi, Kevin. Welcome, welcome. Absolutely, Nick. To program, to channel spell casting sounds like a government control. Absolutely. The creepy voices here every live chat. And yes, I hear you, Kevin. You have an announcement when it's a good time. Really? Oh, that's interesting, Elsie. Oh, you sent it to my email, so you can do. Oh, okay. Well, let me check my email. Did you just send it to my email now, or is it the one about the cops? I didn't get a chance to check that out yet. The one about the cops. All right, 1 second. Oh no, the different one. Okay, let me check. I haven't checked my mail. I haven't checked my mail in at least an hour. 1 second. Oh, I see. Okay, let me read it. Oh, okay. All right, let me read this. I'm eating at the same time because I haven't had time to eat, and I know it's like almost 11 o'clock at night, and I'm eating my dinner. Okay, let me read this. Breaking. There is a new traveling clinic that offers scans, surgical referrals, and graphene removal for targeted individuals. A new nationwide initiative aims to provide targeted individuals with direct access to medical evaluation, scanning, and treatment options all in one stop. This announcement is by Jesse Beltran and the Nexus team. The traveling clinic program will visit cities across the United States with more locations added if demand and conditions are met. The services include 2 types of scans to detect anomalies such as implants, medical consultations for TI related symptoms, surgical referrals when anomalies are confirmed, access to surgeons ready to perform removals. This is essentially a one stop shop, Beltran says. You can get scans, see the doctor, and if something is found, be connected directly to the right surgical resources. The graphene removal development. Beltran also shared news of a product he has personally used that he says is eliminating graphene from his body. He reports speaking extensively with the product's designer and scientists, describing the results as exciting and promising. Details on clinic schedules, participating cities, and the graphene removal product will be provided in the coming days. And this is for educational purposes only. I'm just making an announcement based upon this news. And I just want to say this is a fact. I actually contacted Jesse Beltran and spoke with him on the phone. I don't know, maybe earlier in the year. And at that time, they were not doing any traveling. Like I would have to go to Arizona, which is where they're located in Arizona. So I mean, this is good news if they're going to be traveling around. I would imagine it's going to be quite costly. Yes, I burned sage too. Let's see. If they find out they've been lied to since 2020, I would love to get mine out and trace who manufactured and sold it. Yes, yes, yes. It was quite expensive. Even if you go to their clinic in Arizona, it's still quite costly. Yes, yes, $500 travel expenses. Yes, he did say that. He did say that, if he paid the airfare and the travel and stuff. Now, the unfortunate thing is, like where I live here, there's really nowhere for somebody to live. They would have to rent a hotel or something unless they had a vehicle that they could live in, like an RV or whatever. Many of the implants that are on the physical body are, you know, you can feel them to the touch. Exactly. It's not a cyst. Yep, I actually had one explode in the bathtub. I had it for like in New Jersey. It was implanted in New Jersey, and I had it here. And I'm gonna say after I was here about 2 years, it finally like exploded. I was in very hot water, and I got out, rubbed it, and it just burst open. Yes, it is. It is. It is dangerous. Yep. I know. Like I am definitely not my normal healthy self. They've changed my eyesight. I have marks all over my body. They've performed covert experiments on my legs. I have implants in my ears. They've sliced behind my ears. Yeah, it's really pretty disgusting. And I remember, I don't remember what interview it was. Hi, Three Viking, Eric Abbott. Who's all here from Kentucky? Well, I'm here from Kentucky. So, welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. Are you new here? Oh, no, that's horrible. Oh, my goodness. Do not go on a roller coaster. I would not recommend that to any targeted person, actually. Yeah. I just think that there are some things that we should and shouldn't do if we're implanted, targeted, etc. I would imagine we have to be more physically careful than if we were in our usual perfectly healthy self. That's right. If all of that happened in the name of 2020, they got us all fooled. Absolutely correct. Yes. They call trauma as training. Well, yeah, training for who? Psychopaths. Um, it's trauma based mind control, but it's not just us as targeted people. It's actually on the entire population. And look at what happened with the September 11. That completely traumatized all of New York City and most people around the country. I mean, I was totally traumatized by that. I can't even watch it sometimes without like reliving what happened on that day. And I was not there. I mean, I saw it after the fact. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. I liked roller coasters when I was like a young teenager, but not anymore. I don't like it. Wait, my phone is going off. 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. And I just realized that I left my phone back there again. I grabbed my coffee and didn't grab the phone. Let me see what you guys have been saying here. You're getting a hoodie made to say targeted individual. Finding a physician is really difficult. I would be more inclined to a functional medical doctor. Most of the time, a functional medical doctor is a chiropractor who's gone for the additional training to be a functional medical professional. Finding doctors around here is difficult. When I lived in New Jersey, it was so easy to find doctors. There were so many. It was the same with plumbers, electricians. It was just so easy to find anybody there because there were so many people. So Kevin had sent another article too. I was going to read it. I didn't have time today. And let me just scroll down here. Oh, the police article. Let's see. I was going to read this separately, like on the channel, but I'll read it here. This article is called "The Constitutional Oath." What does it actually do? And this is by Kevin. Let me pull it up here. My laptop is extremely slow. Okay. And I will post it in the chat. 1 second. So you guys can read along. Hi, STL. Welcome. We were talking about witchcraft earlier. Welcome to Boondock Living. Yes. Yes. I know they don't want to hear if you're being poisoned. I mean, the best thing that you can do is take use bentonite clay, activated charcoal, cilantro, like eat cilantro and onions and garlic. So let's see, this police article it's called The Constitutional Oath. What does it actually do? Dated August 8, 2025 by Kevin Boyton, who's in the article. Law enforcement officers across the United States swear an oath to uphold the Constitution. This is not ceremonial in theory. It is presented as a binding commitment to protect civil liberties and operate within constitutional limits. However, the structure that surrounds this oath complicates its meaning. One major factor is qualified immunity, a legal doctrine that protects government officials, including police officers, from civil liability for constitutional violations, unless a court has previously ruled that an identical action was unlawful. The threshold for accountability, therefore, is not the Constitution itself, but the existence of case-specific precedent, and that's a huge problem because so many of these cases are so outdated. There hasn't been any updates. There's just not enough. And my screen is freezing. Oh, wait, here we go. As a result, the oath does not function as a contract. There is no built-in enforcement. An officer may violate a person's rights and still be legally shielded, not because the action was unconstitutional, not because the action was constitutional, but because it hasn't yet been ruled unconstitutional in the same form. This creates a structural dissonance. The Constitution is sworn to, but not always actionable. The oath is mandatory, but not enforceable. The appearance of accountability exists, but the mechanisms for accountability may not. This leads to a broader question. What kind of function does the oath serve if its violation carries no direct consequence? Is it a guarantee, a moral aspiration, a procedural formality? And more pointedly, if a promise cannot be enforced, is it still a promise? Until these questions are addressed, the constitutional oath remains an unsolved feature of American policing, symbolic but structurally ambiguous. The police oath, does it actually mean anything? This is the simplified version. Police officers in the US swear to protect the Constitution. It sounds serious, like a real promise to respect people's rights, but in practice, that oath isn't enforced. Thanks to the legal rule called qualified immunity, officers are often protected even when they violate someone's rights, as long as there isn't a past court case that clearly says their specific action was illegal. This means an officer can break the rules in a new way and still avoid being held accountable, not because what they did was right, but because it hasn't been challenged in court before. So what does the oath really do? It's required, but it's not enforceable. It looks like a promise, but it doesn't guarantee anything. That raises the real question. If breaking the oath doesn't bring consequences, is it even a real promise? Right now, it seems more like a ritual than a rule, something we expect officers to say but not necessarily follow. And that's a good point. All really good points. Thank you, Kevin. Gives us something to think about, something to consider. And what he has here in the article is he's got the back of a police officer's shirt that says police, with the navy blue shirt. And then the police officer with his right hand, he has it behind his back where he's crossing his fingers, like he's telling a lie, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed while I'm doing it. Oh yeah, what is that? The Johns Hopkins study. Yeah, the cayenne pepper. Like I like cayenne pepper. Let's see, I'm just reading your comments here. How does what kind of test is there for mold and fungus, Amy? Does it have a specific name, or is it something that has to be administered by a medical professional? Like Elsie says, River Bluff, about a year ago, I was hit with some frequency or energy, and it almost brought me to my knees. And I can take a lot. It's horrible. They've been hitting me in my ankles a lot, like literally causing pain to almost cause me to buckle, not able to put weight on it. And then I just have to wait. I've got to wait a couple of minutes until they let up, and then my ankle will go back to normal again. But I'm sure over time they keep hitting it in the same spots. They're creating a wound where one would normally not exist. Oh, that's horrible, River Bluff. That is basically what's happening to us is we're receiving these tiny concussions. And I don't know if when you wake up in the morning, do your eyes tear or your nose drip sometimes when you don't have a cold? When Helena Chorba was alive, she was a targeted civil engineer. She said that that is basically your cerebral fluid leaking. Well, you know what? As a targeted person, what we experience, you know, shooting your mouth off is a self defense. These criminals place us in a very defensive position. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that was $3,000 20 years ago. I see. I would I would imagine that some of those kind of people or that test for mold and fungus would be difficult to locate and maybe even controversial. Probably not even covered under medical insurance. Not that I have any, but you'd probably have to pay out of pocket for it. for anybody that that ever needs to get tested for Lyme disease, there is a lab in California called iGenix. I'll place it in the chat, the name. They were that was the best lab. The lab results are examined by scientists and not by lab techs. Oh yeah, that Oprah's roof in Hawaii. Yes, isn't that interesting? Oh, okay. Okay, so that's what it was. So you saw a symptom in your daughter. So you researched what might be causing it, and of course, for a young person, that would be significant because generally something like that would be medication related. If there's any kind of a negative side effect to medication. Hi, Luke Brown. Luke, yeah, I actually tried that. I know where one in particular is, and this speakerphone, it doesn't work. It's bullshit. It doesn't work. I actually have a pet scanner, pet microchip scanner, and it doesn't work on mine, or at least the one that I know that exists in the precise position. It just doesn't trigger anything. That's so interesting. Well, I've lost a lot of hair since I'm living here. Like I've lost like half of my hair since I'm living here. I mean, of course, a lot of it is stress related, but I think I started losing hair here even before I was under any kind of like really heavy stress like it is now. Like I hadn't lost, as many pets as I've lost now. But there's a YouTube creator. Her name is Dana Jess Jesselyn. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. She's originally from Kentucky and she moved. And the reason I know her is because when I was house searching, her farm popped up and she had just sold it. But she gave me her YouTube channel and she's like a naturopath and she has her own herbs and stuff like that. But the reason she left Kentucky was she had developed severe mold allergies. She had no idea what it was. And I can understand why, because Kentucky is extremely humid. It's literally wet all the time. I mean, if you want water, come to Kentucky. But it's wet here, damp, moist, like all the time. Even when we don't have rain for long periods of time at night, a fog rolls in and it's moist. I mean, the house literally is dripping with water in the morning. Although somebody's mentioned to me, that's because you're getting hit with directed energy weapons at night. Because your house is dripping with water because it's overheated. Okay, let's see. My nails have changed also, Amy. Well, actually, the cyan, just like if you use turmeric, you can use it as a tea. And I would imagine that you can use it in water and spray it. You can probably spray it around the house. Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. A quarter teaspoon in warm water 3 times a day. Yes. I know some people that um, will take a pinch of borax a couple of times a day. And of course, other people use baking soda. I mean, I just scrub baking soda and borax all over my body in the shower. Another thing that helps is let's see, it was a horrible. Oh, that's horrible. How do you think that got in there, SCL? Do you think it was through windows or your door? The borax is wonderful. I use it all the time now. I use it to wash clothes. I use it in my Epsom salt baths. I actually put a little bit in, like I mix this whole concoction for my chickens. Sort of like a ferment, and I'll stick some borax in their food. Yes. Well, I'll tell you that that woman, Jessica Thomason, the PhD who's been held against her will for a year in a mental facility, she's the one that found that her food was being poisoned. I mean, she's a chemist. So she tested her food and she was being poisoned. Maybe that's why they picked her up. She discovered what they were doing to her. Yeah, vinegar is I had that last week, River Bluff. It came out of nowhere. But and then that was also the same day that I woke up like feeling nauseous and I had like dry heaves. So I know that I was poisoned. There's one person in the group, Smart, that goes on about chemicals, sees them as a primary vehicle for targeting. Absolutely. That's what I feel is happening to me because I eat so clean. Yes, like I'll eat tortilla chips and stuff, but they're organic. Yeah, yes, Jessica's food was poison. Now this was before her mom, before she went to live with her mom. But who knows? Maybe her mom's food too. So Jessica was first living in California, and then she moved back to live with her mom. Her mom actually called 911 on Jessica. It's her mom, between her mother and the doctor are the two reasons that Jessica is still there, including the judge and her lawyer. They can bloat you while you're sleeping. They've done it to me. There have been times when, like, I'm a thin woman and I've never had a bloated stomach. Like my stomach has always been flat, but here they will heat you up at night, so you'll wake up and you'll have a bloated stomach. A couple of years ago, it was so bad. I looked like I was 4 months pregnant. I had this belly, and it was just from like air in my stomach that they were doing at night. It was like an experiment. At the recommendation of my brother, I recently purchased an electric toothbrush. I mean, literally, I've spent all these 67 years without just using a regular toothbrush. And I never thought about getting an electric one. I always thought like electric toothbrush has got to be so stupid. Well, the creepy voice is an idiot, you know. So unfortunately, I have no control over the creepy voice. I've reported it to YouTube multiple times, but it's not a YouTube problem. It's on my end. I don't really know what to do about it. Like if I knew somebody who was more technically adept, or I think that maybe it's because my laptop is so old that maybe, when I replace it, maybe it'll be better. I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, I started using this electric toothbrush. I don't use it for every time I brush my teeth. Like I'll use it once a day to brush my teeth, and what it does is it actually kind of massages your gums too. Oh, so Card Artist wants to know how old you are, Luke. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what they do, Amy. And yesterday, talking about things that they steal from my house. Now, I buy a case of plant based creamer, and I opened up a new one yesterday, and I only used a little bit of it. And then later that day, like later that night, I wanted to make another cup of coffee, go into the refrigerator to get it, and it's like really light, and there's like pretty much nothing in it. So they literally emptied it. Hi, Mrs. Matson. Welcome, welcome. So they literally emptied it. And that's something else they do. And it's another form of asset stripping. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. Let me just go get it so I can read it to you. I really like it. I've tried so many, and I've gotten rid of so many because either um, they use like I don't really like stevia. I don't like stevia at all. So, a lot of plant-based things use stevia in place of sugar, and I don't like that. I'd rather have the sugar. Let me just see what you're saying. This person in Kentucky, let's see, targeted for 15 years, started in Louisville, Kentucky, and moved to Lexington 5 years ago. It still happens, except they won't follow me unless I use drugs. Oh, so you're in Lexington now. There's another woman in Louisville who's been targeted for a long time. Her name is Connie Marshall. She's in Louisville, and she's targeted there. So far, I know. Okay, so you're in now Lexington. I know somebody out near Campbellsville who's targeted. I'm targeted here in Jackson County. There's somebody in Winchester who's targeted. Um, what do you Bowling Green, that area? I'm sure there are other people. There's just so very hard to get in contact with people. Yeah, I don't really like stevia. I can taste it as soon as I eat some organic food or whatever, and I don't know. It just leaves an aftertaste for me. I just don't really like it. Yeah, the dew deteriorates everything. Like I've noticed that, like in New Jersey, that's the only way I can compare it is because I'm here 6 years. I've always had like extremely tight teeth, like so tight that I almost can't even get the dental floss through it. But not here in Jackson County, Kentucky, because they are literally dehydrating my physical body, and dehydrating my physical body, including my organs and whatever. It's also deteriorating the plumpness of my gums. So now I can very easily um, slide dental floss in my teeth. Yeah, the coconut oil is very, very good. Yes, very, very good. Some people do with olive oil. I don't really like squishing with olive oil. And there are not a lot of really great olive oils out there, but yeah, coconut oil. Like, I love coconut oil. I really like it a lot. You hear the same distinct voices every day for the past 2 years, nonstop all day long. I wake up at night and hear them talking about what they're doing to me while I'm sleeping. Oh, isn't that nice? You make sure, guys, when you buy toothpaste, buy it without any saccharin or sugars or whatever. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, they absolutely go through your dirty clothes. They're disgusting. Just everything about them is disgusting and filthy. Here, let me get the name of that product. 1 second. I always forget what it is. Zoomy, are you out here? Zoomy? No, no, not Cooney. I didn't say Cooney. I said Zoomy. Zoomy, Zoomy. There is a swarm of raccoons outside because they dump animals on the property too. They not only dump pregnant cats, but they dump raccoons. So the plant-based creamer that I use is called. I'll spell it. I'll spell it. I'll put it in the chat. It's by Minor Figures. It has 4% potassium. No cholesterol. It's made of water, organic oats, organic sunflower oil, salt, and potassium carbonate. Is that right, Nick? That's so interesting. Most of the time, I prefer to use just like organic cream. But the one thing about this Minor Figures barrister oat is that it doesn't need to be refrigerated, so you can buy it in bulk and keep it out of the refrigerator until you use it. Yeah, they SC. I'm sorry to hear that. They go right. Yeah, they go right for the joints. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's horrible. They absolutely do that. Oh my goodness. You know, it would be a really good idea for you to soak that in Epsom salt, I think. The Epsom salt contains magnesium and it helps soothe muscles and stuff. Yeah, what they do to us is really off the charts. It's disgusting. It really makes me ill. Wait, let's see. I decided to start video on my mornings to let everyone see what my AMs. Well, that's a good idea. Okay, Luke says, Dear Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet under the Official Information Act 1982, I request all operational orders, tasking directors, memoranda issued to New Zealand police. Eating fatty meat helps the joints. Well, it's really interesting you say that because when when I was given Lyme disease back in 2011, I think it was 2012 or whatever, when they gave me Lyme disease, that's what the research scientist said because I told him I was a vegetarian, and he says, "Well, you really need to start eating some meat. It would really help." And I actually had to force myself to eat meat. It was like made me ill. I just don't like meat. Like I feel like I'm eating an animal and I can't. I just can't do it. Oh, good night. Good night, Three Viking Eric Abbott. Good night. I'm just seeing that. Have a good evening. Oh, well, when I was growing up, my mother cooked a lot of meat, and I didn't like it then either. So I used to trade with my brother because my brother hated vegetables. So I would swap my meat for his vegetables, and all was well. They infested your clothing drawer with a tick infestation. I've not had a tick since Girl Scout. Girl Scout. That was a long time ago, right? Girl Scout camp. Well, we're dealing with juveniles here, so they're stuck in juvenile delinquency. And even in Kay Griggs' testimony, she says that the military are immature perverts that like to play pranks. Oh, that's interesting, Joe, because I used to dog sit for my neighbor back in New Jersey, and her dog. She has this huge dog. I forget. Oh, it's a Rottweiler. And Rottweilers, I guess they have joint problems or whatever. So while I was doggy sitting for him, I used to have to give him that, but he wouldn't eat it by itself. I like had to wrap it in a noodle for him. Yeah, she said that it works really well for animals too. Well, I can't really say it here on YouTube. Uh, uh, Kevin, that word that you've got there, that the prednisone there, I could tell you privately my experience with that, and um, you really do need to do some research on the long-term use of that. Yeah, I've been a vegetarian for, I don't know, decades. When I contracted Lyme disease, I did force myself to eat some meat then. It's not like I don't, there are some meats that I actually like I like turkey and I like chicken. But now that I own chickens, I can't eat chicken. um, like years ago, I ate more fish, Like I like shrimp and I like lobster, but the thought of eating a lobster makes me sick because of how they're what happens to them. I can't. Yes. Oh, the soil here, they intentionally poison the soil here. You could see it. You could see the poison right in the soil. I mean, I have lots of videos posted about what they do to the soil here, and also there's another targeted person who is a homeowner, and they do the same things to his grass too with the glyphosate. Yes, the reduction in bone density. Well, to increase bone density is like walking and exercise and stuff too. But what they do to us and what's happening in the environment that's affecting everybody, it's just it's hard. It's really difficult. Well, that's interesting, STL. Like, he wonders if GMO is really nano infested. Well, in the news recently, or people are talking about it, is Bill, Bill Gates, who I call Bill from the gates of hell, has invented something called, I'll spell it in the chat here. So, Bill, good old Billy boy, invented this appeal, APEEL, and they're using it as like a preservative on foods. But the unfortunate thing is, like, it doesn't have to appear on a label. Exactly, it was approved by the USDA, but they're not labeling it. So it's on exactly on the organic food. Well, that's a good point. Bill never invented anything. Well, maybe he has a whole bunch of people working for him that invented it, and he's funding it. So that's probably more along the lines of what that is. So yeah, he has got scientists, research scientists creating these chemicals. Yeah, yep. Well, first time ever, there was a farmer that was using glyphosate on his farm because farmers were encouraged and even given grants to use it on their crops. Well, this one farmer developed a C word and realized that it was in direct association to the use of glyphosate on his farm. And he had this huge lawsuit with Monsanto and won the lawsuit. Like, he was like the first person to win this kind of a lawsuit. I think it's like gagged or whatever. Um, but yeah, he won a lot of money, and I think that's when Monsanto either changed their name or somebody told me that they're with another company now, using it under the guise of another company now. I forget the name. Oh, well, that's a good idea. Put your fruit in a bowl and sprinkle it with baking soda and pour vinegar. Let it soak for a few minutes and rinse and consume. Yeah, I usually when I have time, when I remember, I will use apple cider vinegar. I'll pour apple cider vinegar on my fruit. And a lot of times, and this is unfortunate too, but I will peel the fruit. If I don't have time, I'll peel the fruit and I give the peels to the chickens. So let's see. Bayer, that's it. Why can't I remember that? Like it's the aspirin company. So no, you don't hear of people talking about Monsanto anymore, and they're located in Missouri. I think they're in St. Louis. Conrad says Paducah, Kentucky, made uranium hexafluoride for uranium enrichment. Oh, is that right? Oh, you wrote a haiku? We used to do that. I think it was in high school, either high school or junior high school. We used to write haikus. Let's see. Seems like early on, you're targeting. They use every opportunity to hit me chemicals. Yeah, they want to affect your central nervous system. That's what they study. They want to study your central nervous system and also um, how it affects your spirituality. They don't want you to get zen. They don't want you to be zen. And by affecting your nerves, it's hard to get zen when your nerves are firing, when you're being radiated at night. Yeah, you don't hear much about them anymore. They used to be in the news all the time. Monsanto this, Monsanto invented that. They're Roundup Ready seeds. And now you don't hear about them so much. I don't really hear anything about Bayer either, but we always hear about Bill Gates and what he's up to. And he's generally up to no good. And always got that smirky grin. He's got that narcissist grin. Every time he talks about inventing something, well, using something new, like there's this little bug right now that's walking across my keyboard, and it just flew away. River Bluff says, freaking redneck stalker on a muffled lawnmower. I've reached hillbilly nirvana. Joe says, I've been experiencing chemical agents. I'll walk out of my door in the morning. It smells like overpowering dryer sheet smell. But it's not from laundry. No one lives close enough. Does it smell really perfumey? Because um, I would smell this perfumey stuff on the porch in New Jersey. And then I couldn't believe it. Like I started smelling it here too. So I knew it wasn't, just some flower blossom like by a local neighbor. Yeah, it's disgusting. It smells like perfume. It's very perfumey. The labor movement has been annihilated by big business. Let's see. I'm just going to look at my mail because I like reading some of the articles and stuff that people send. Let's see. Okay, so I received an email from a subscriber. I mean, obviously, I can't show you these pictures. I'll have to do it in the video. She says, the top picture is a towel I found just randomly laying on the chair in front of the elevator just now, not more than 20 minutes before that. I had used the red towel below laying on my floor in my bathroom to wipe up water that I splashed on the floor. Note, the exact same color and size of the towel these sick bastards planted is the size and color of the towel in my bathroom. They go out of their way to terrorize you with, quote unquote, we know every move you make. If this was just a random coincidence, stuff like this wouldn't be happening so oddly and repeatedly and strategically day after day after day. Well, I actually agree. And let me just look at these photos here a second. Oh my goodness. That's unbelievable. These people are just so friggin' evil. I'm telling you, they're so evil. So sick. I mean, this is stalking. This is psychological abuse. And then I received an email from Zero Geoengineering. I mean, this is a good newsletter to get, guys, if you're interested. And I'll post the heading in the chat. 1 second. So this is U.S. patent 20240272328A1, using smartphones to monitor spraying of particles into stratosphere. A burnt hamburger smell. Ooh, that would be gross. Yes, the cop oath. I read that one. I read that one a short while ago. Let's see. Nick says they broke into my van, found some lemon and dish soap, opened the bottle, dumped it on the floor, and the smell was overwhelming. Okay, I've got a cat at my front door. Just hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Sumi, is that you? Who is that? It's you! Come here, baby! Come on, mommy! Hi! You stayed out late. You stayed so late. You want to go home? You can go home soon. We'll go home soon. We'll go home soon. I know those raccoons. They're so bad. They're bad. They're so bad. I know they're bad. They're very bad. Come on in. My poor cat was stuck outside. She would normally not stay out this late, but I have like a whole pack of raccoons outside, and she's so scared to come to the front door. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yes, they're using our phones to meter accounts of the stuff in the air. Yes. Let's see, you found a bunch of black powder type stuff on your window. Yes, I get that too. Oh, they just I just consider that part of the property mobbing. They like to filthy things because they're so filthy themselves. They spread so much kind of weird stuff on the grass to burn it out, and like fungus and webs and just disgusting. Meow. Here, I'll give you a link here. 1 second. Let's see. It's sometimes hard to cut and paste from this place. Let's see. Okay, here's a link to that article about the smartphones. Oh, okay. All right. Ace of Cups. I can respond to that. Luke, I don't like to vaccinate my cats, and I will tell you that in New Jersey, the vet that I had there was amazing. She was so good, and you're supposed to do it by the weight of the animal, the age and the weight of the animal, because there is a lot of new research that's not that new, but they're talking about it now, and I don't want to talk too much about it on the channel because I'm not a veterinarian, I'm not a medical doctor, but I am now subscribed on YouTube to a veterinarian who does research on these topics, and there's a lot of new research out that's really not new, but a lot of research that's becoming mainstream about spaying and neutering cats and the jab, and how it is totally unnecessary, including the rabies, for dogs. But I knew this like years ago. I can't really talk about the. Oh, good night, SDL. I'm going to be signing off soon too, guys. Because it's close to midnight. I agree. Hold the counties accountable. Yes. Oh well, good for you. I'm so glad that you can get into bed by noon, by midnight. I used to be able to get into bed by midnight. No, I think that's great. Lucky you. But I will tell you about the woman, okay? I'm going to say it only because I guarantee she's listening right now. Okay, thank you, Kevin. That would be great. Now, this is some. I'm going to back up a little bit. And for those of you who want to stay on here for another 15 minutes, for those of you who don't know, I had a cyberstalker, a very well-known cyberstalker named Nerve Gorilla. I called him Gorilla Boy. For a year, this man tormented me every day, several times a day. And the way it started is as follows. I receive a phone call from him. Now, I don't know the guy from a hole in the wall, right? So I get a phone call from him, leaving me an irate message. Then I receive a text message from the same creature. And then I started receiving emails from this guy. And then he started stalking my channel. He was being nasty towards my subscribers. He would start tagging me and my subscribers in his videos. He was creating videos about me, speaking negatively about me, and I don't know this guy. So I just figured he's part of my gang stalking, right? So, I mean, it's a pattern. It's sort of like a pattern of behavior. He was absolutely obsessed with me, and I've had other people say that he was obsessed with me. But I think he was just a paid agent. He's paid. And when they stop getting paid, they stop tormenting the person that they're hired to torment, including the slander, the videos he created about me. He had like multiple personas, multiple addresses, and literally anything that I did, he was downvote everything that I posted. So the reason I'm telling you this story is because I've already dealt with this, okay? And I took it all the way to the Attorney General. I reported him to 2 sheriff's departments. So I'm not going to be complacent about this and just say, "Oh no, I got a cyberstalker." No, I'm going to file a complaint. I reported him to YouTube every day, multiple times a day, multiple times. Oh, that monkey guy. Well, this is what I heard. I heard that the reason most people haven't heard about the gorilla guy anymore, somebody told me, I mean, this might be a joke. Maybe this is just a joke, that he has a mail order bride, or he had some kind of a woman that he met. I won't report you. Some mail order bride, and then it either worked or it didn't work or whatever. And I'm thinking, oh, thank God he found somebody. Wait 1 second, my phone's going off again. I have these alarms to remind me what time it is. So now the only reason I'm bringing up the cyber stalker that I had for a year, like literally an entire year, every day of my life, I had to wake up to this guy, is because this new cyber stalker is a female, and she has displayed the exact same pattern as Gorilla Boy, and that's what I call him. Like I call him Gorilla Boy. Some people call him Chimp. I call him Gorilla Boy. And you could search my channel for Gorilla. If you type in Gorilla, she is bride. Oh my God, what a combination that would be. Um, but see, Gorilla Boy, like I have no idea what he looks like because these people you never get to see them. Okay, you never see who they are. They never provide anything. All he does was slander everybody, not just me. It wasn't only me. He was doing it to a lot of targeted people. He was stalking targeted people. That seemed to be his MO, the Bride of Frankenstein. Okay, so let's fast forward now to this new person. So I receive an anonymous, a not so anonymous, a phone call. Now, I don't give out my phone number unless I've already emailed you back and forth and we decide we're going to exchange phone numbers, etc. But this individual took it upon herself to comb the internet for my phone number and call me. That really turned me off. And then text me like this little diatribe about her testimony. Okay, that was 2. And then the emails started coming. That's 3. And then wanting to bring me into her drama with a man. Uh, how does he go? He goes by No Smiles. No Smiles on YouTube. Now, I don't want to get into other people's dramas. It's none of my business. I have too much going on in my own life for you to be sending me zillions of emails, not you guys, for this person to be sending me all these emails talking about him to me. How he's a perp, how he's this, how he's that. And it's like, why are you telling me this? I don't care. Don't drag me into it. No, I appreciated my birthday gift. I love my birthday gift. And I loved it so much that the criminals came in here and just stabbed it, because that's what they are. They're losers. But anyway, so now this woman, she's got her own YouTube channel, and she has taken it upon herself, and she's probably listening right now. So I'm going to say it for the record, and this is not about you guys. Hey, bitch, if you're listening to my channel now, you do not have my permission, and I will report you to record any part of this live chat or anything that I'm saying in this chat and bring it onto your channel because I will get you. Okay? You can, she calls me an Italian granny, and she might be an agent provocateur. An agent provocateur will do that, want to drag you into stuff. I don't care. I didn't even know she was talking about me until somebody sent me her videos because I unsubscribed. Because every time I listen to her, all she does is talk negatively about people in the community, including me, that I have a friendship with other targeted people, but not her. No, honestly, like, I have a Scorpio rising, and I've got Pluto in the right place on my my birth chart. I really like. I'm a really nice person, but if you push me too far, I will turn into the bitch that you will never want to mess with. I seriously, I can be such a bitch when somebody pushes me like that because I have zero tolerance, just like I have zero tolerance for that gorilla creature. Zero. And basically, what I did with him was after he stopped started tormenting me and stuff, I just started creating videos about him, videos about stalking, videos about psychopathy, pointing in his direction. I reported him to 2 sheriff's departments. I reported him to the attorney general, not once, twice. I reported him to YouTube every day, several times a day, and some of my subscribers were reporting him also. So now this woman thinks it's okay to just go on to other people's lives, other people's channels, comb their subscriber list, subscribe to them, post positive things on your channel, but then has her live stream and all she does is talk negatively about David A, about me, about other people. She's not using my name, but she's saying that witch in Kentucky, that grandma, that Italian grandma in Kentucky. Well, I am Italian and I can say that I'm Italian. Okay, but I'll tell you right now, if you're listening, bitch, I'm not a grandma. And there is not one word in my live chat that you can use, record, videotape on your channel, on your live, that you then hide after your live stream. So you were already reported, if you're listening, you were already reported to YouTube 4 times today. 4. Okay? Spreading misinformation, bullying a protected class. Because yes, I am a senior citizen. It's considered to be a protected class. You are slandering the Italian community. You are slandering the targeted community. And that's what she was doing. No, you're absolutely right. She's not worth it. She is a paid agent. Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to describe what Gorilla Boy did to me, a year ago. It is a skit, it is a pattern. So Gorilla Boy first combed the internet for my phone number, calls me, texts me, emails me, starts dragging me in to his videos. Exactly the same thing that this woman is doing, who has 3 separate names. Exactly. It's the Gorilla Playbook. It's exactly the same. And her YouTube channel name is one that would come up in anybody looking for narcissism. And narcissism on the internet is a huge, everybody's looking up narcissists. Psychologists have channels, psychiatrists have channels, YouTube creators, zillions of people who have nothing to do with psychology or psychology have psychiatry have created channels exploiting narcissism, and she's another one of them. So yes, I believe that she's a paid agent, and this is what I told David, and I'll tell anybody else here. Watch. This started in February. By February of next year, she'll disappear. Her contract will run out. She won't be paid anymore unless they renew it for another year. And that's what happens with these people. That's what happened with Ella Fraud. Her contract ran out. She takes everything down. She was not a targeted person, and she's gone. Everybody's like, oh, whatever happened to Ella? Well, one, Ella's not her real name. Free's not her real last name. Those what nobody uses their real name. Those people that start all these calls and stuff, they're not using their real names. So you got to watch out for these people that are not using their real names. I'm using my real name, Lorraine Valenti. That's my name that I'm born with. That's the name that I use. I don't have to pretend to be anybody that I'm not. That's who I am. So yeah, so she is, and that's why I did the video on the difference between agent provocateurs, government agents, uh, cyberstalkers, etc. And a lot of targeted people don't use their real names. And there's a good reason for that. Like when I came into the community, I never used my last name. And the reason was my daughter was still living with me. I didn't want my name out there and then it to be negatively impact my daughter in some way. I mean, my daughter is an adult on her own now, so I have no problem using my full name. So, but there are a lot of people that are not comfortable with that. That's why they give testimonies and either don't won't show their face or use like only a first name or like a pen name or whatever. And I don't have a problem with that. I really don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, I get it. And on the internet these days, with surveillance and stuff, it makes sense to not have you not. It makes sense to not use your real name. But this woman uses three different names. So that became very suspicious to me. When you're contacting me and you're giving me three separate female names, and it's confusing to me. Do you have any idea how many emails I get in a day? And everybody's got a different like YouTube handle from an email address. It's so hard to keep track of. So I've got to remember that. And some of you guys have similar names to other people that I know. So and these raccoons are like knocking on my door. Yes, Ace of Cups, who contacted me actually and said, and I will be the first one to apologize if I made a mistake. So with regard to the moderator that I had, who disappeared for 2 weeks, I did finally receive an email that she was hacked. I don't know if it's true or not. She was hacked, and that she like her channel was hacked and her phone was hacked, etc. And it's certainly a possibility because as targeted people, we're hacked all the time. I mean, it happened to Michaela Rains of Save a Fox. They took down her whole YouTube channel. And I remember when that happened because I signed on to her channel. It's like I get this screen that says Elon Musk. It's like, what? Like, what happens? Like, Elon Musk hacked her YouTube channel? So, I mean, that's how you know, like, she was a targeted person. Her YouTube channel was hacked, the website was hacked. She's then cyber stalked, and then she's disappeared from the planet. So, yeah, so I hope I kind of answered your question, Ace of Cups. So, this woman has been slandering me and David Atkinson, David A., saying that we conspire against each other, that we're targeted people, and that we play off of each other, and that we protect each other. Well, you know what? In the targeting community, we need to be protecting each other more, like real targeted people. This is why nothing ever happens, because we have agent provocateurs like that woman who is instigating trouble, and then she takes down the video because she knows she doesn't want her channel to get removed. And I will remove her channel if she continues this BS, because I already reported her during her live stream 4 times. And I'm not the only one that reported her during the live stream. And there was actually a guy in the live stream and who and this is a tactic. I thought it was really interesting because what this person did was he said, "Do you believe in Yeshua? Do you believe in Jesus Christ?" No comment. She did not comment at all, and I won't say who told me to do this, but will stop dead the gang stalker, the agent in their tracks. If you bring up the name of Jesus Christ to an agent provocateur, they will not respond. So, and that's exactly what happened during her live stream. She did not respond to that person who kept asking her the question, asking her the question. She kept going on and on and on and on about a warlock, about witches, about the Italian in Kentucky, the grandma. She was going on and on and on. She had nothing nice to say about anybody. And yes, David A is a cool guy. And he's got a great channel and he's doing a great service in the community. Yes, and see the thing is, like the people that are doing uh, work in the community trying to bring people together, you're going to have these agent provocateurs to break us apart. Yes, Jesus Christ was targeted. Yes. Well, she could have it out for me. She's a witch. Yes, like so many of these witches. Yeah, well, that's okay. That's okay. Like Nerf Gorilla had it out for me too, and I didn't even know him from a hole in the wall. But here he was on his channel. And this was the scariest thing. And this is what I originally reported him, not even knowing who he was. But somebody showed me his channel, and he was like, and he's part of a gun club. Okay. Well, I hear you, Elsie. But and you know whatever you're into, whatever hobbies you're into, I don't care. It's no big deal. But it was sort of like on the edge of being more than provocative, where he had like in this alleyway target practice. And you know how you have like these little flags that go around and around, like you're gonna shoot them, like you're shooting like a little duck, like a little plastic duck or whatever. Well, he was doing it with targeted people, like the faces of targeted people, and I thought that wasn't really cool. That should not have been on YouTube. I felt like that was not YouTube friendly to be doing target practice in a YouTube video. You know, these gamers do this. Like, I'm not a gamer. I'm not into games. Um, and I'm not the technical like he was. You know, and he would make fun of targeted individuals as not being technical, as not as being stupid, as being ignorant and stuff because we don't know technology the way he does. Well, no, you're a different generation than me. I wasn't. I'm not 30 years old. My generation, I had we had telephone booths on all the street corners, and we would reverse the charges home. So that I grew up in a different generation. So yeah, so that's what these people do. They're agent provocateurs, and they use information to trigger you. And at some point, it just gets to be so hilarious that you ignore it. And see, I'm a parent, and as a parent, like I learned, like with my own daughter, to reward the positive behavior and ignore the bad behavior. You know, unless the bad behavior like was really like needed to be reprimanded in some way. So I that's what I started doing with the gorilla guy. It's like totally ignored him. I would keep reporting him though. Like if it was brought to my attention that he created another video about me, but I wasn't looking for it. I would just report him. I told YouTube that he had been reported to the Attorney General, that he was under investigation, etc. And I think what happened was that he didn't want his channel to get deleted. So he started creating other channels to target me and other people. How did he react to being ignored? He did not stop harassing me. So what I did was I blocked him, and when you block him in your Google, in your Gmail, it appears in your trash. So I would look in my trash and I would see all these emails from him, and I would just I would not open them because there was one time he knows when you open the mail. So I would just see all of his emails there and just delete it. So they would go into the trash and I would delete it. See, because I had made the mistake of opening a couple of his mails, and he would know when I was opening them that I would read them, and then he would play on that last mail that I opened again. Because he's not only a cyber stalker, he's paid. He's a paid agent. And like he like accidentally, and I saved this somewhere. He accidentally or not accidentally copied me on an email that he was writing to the CIA about me. Now, come on. I mean, that was just absolutely absurd. Um, yeah, so an agent. He's a paid agent. Yes, Painbow. That's it. Painbow. Yes, yes, yes. The mommy's basement dweller gamer. Yes. Yep. Well, rumor has it that he found somebody. Like he found a mail order bride or something. Thank God, because that guy needed to get laid in a big way. Sorry. Sorry guys. Yeah, yes. Sometimes they don't stop until they get hit back. Well, that's true. And then somebody told me, now this totally baffles the mind. Somebody told me that his parents are psychiatrists. Please tell me that's not true. Please tell me that's not true. Oh my goodness. But as long as he ignores me, I'm just fine. Let him go prey on somebody else, and then I can report him preying on somebody else. Because yes, I did report him for harassing other people too. Yeah, there was this young girl that he was harassing unmercifully, like, but in a sexual way. She was a young girl, like a blonde girl. I'm gonna say she's like in her 20s, and he was like being torturous about her. And I thought to myself, like, what he did to that girl, if that's what they were doing to Michaela Rains of Save a Fox, I mean, I could almost see how she would become so incredibly despondent over that. Because it's too much to take. Like if you're like in your 60s, but if you're in your 30s and you don't really know what's going on, and she was under the knife like this by all these criminals, and maybe also being radiated and not knowing it, or maybe she knew she was gang stalked, maybe she didn't know, but whatever it was, she passed away on the solstice. So that's why it was always highly suspect that they just deleted her. She was a ritual, and I will never think other than that. That woman loved those foxes. She had a plan for the future, and she loved that little daughter of hers. And somebody like that does not take their own life. I'm sorry. So, but anyway, I'm going to. I hope that answered your question, Ace of Cups, because I did not give her name, But if you want to email me privately, I will be happy to tell you who she is and what her channel is. I love that woman. Yes. She knows what went down, even if she does not know. Yes. When I found out, when I listened to her husband talk about her, I'm telling you, my heart just sunk because the week before, I'd mentioned this to somebody. I was watching her video and I just got this really sick feeling. And this is what happens. It's happened my whole life. I got this sick feeling. And I said it to myself, what would happen to those foxes if she were not here anymore? And then I just had to, walk away from that. And then I find out that she allegedly takes her own life. And it's just too hard for me. I can't even talk about her. But anyway, good night, Kevin. Thank you for your wonderful articles and keep on writing. Um, perhaps you'll write something about real estate mobbing, real estate property mobbing, and how it's utilized in gang stalking and targeted individuals. I would appreciate that. But thank you everybody for joining in. Melody, welcome, welcome. Unfortunately, the live is over. I know those foxes. I know. I know. I can't take it. I just can't. I can't. Um, Thank you everybody for joining in the chat, for all of your information on listening to the diatribe on witchcraft, and all of your contributions, because I learn a lot from you guys also. But so yeah, so that was my experience with a cyberstalker named Gorilla Boy. I hope everybody's doing well. Have a great night. And I will say it one last time that cyberstalker agent provocateur woman who's stalking my channel and stalking you guys, you do not have permission to use any snippets from any of my lives in any of your videos because I will report you. And that's my disclaimer for this evening. So, on that note, I'm going to sign off for now. And let me just leave my little hearts for you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to sign off for now.